Hello everybody and welcome back to another new video on the channel. Today we're talking about the newest episode for Boruto, which is Boruto episode 82. And by the title of the video, I already know what I'm going to title this video, but by the title of the video, there's actually a really surprising plot twist at the end of the episode. And it's not what you think it is. I imagine that some people who have never watched a anime before in their life were probably surprised by something at the end of the episode, but it's something else that really surprised me. So the beginning of the episode pretty much starts like the way you think it does. They show up at, the Stone Village, and you're like, okay, we got to go inside there. Inojin has to stay behind because he has the Akuta with him, and it would just draw attention. So if they sneak in, they go around the village for a little bit, and the episode decides to have a little like comedic relief. I'll go ahead and explain the beginning part after the opening, which is basically Konohamaru saying that he is going to be sent over to the Stone Village to go after his team, because Mitsuki, Sarada, and Boruto, they went over to the Stone Village, and Konohamaru has a personal connection to a mission like this, so that's why he wasn't sent to go, and he wasn't sent to go for a long time, which I don't know, for some reason that just seemed really dumb to me, for a reason that I'll get into in a second. But then finally in this episode, Naruto's like, yeah, you understand the consequences of the mission, you know why you're going there, you know what could happen if something went wrong, yada yada yada, right? So he sends him off to the Stone Village, imposing himself as an Anbu Black Ops member, and Konohamaru just starts making his way over to the land of Earth. And the reason why I thought it was really stupid that Konohamaru was never sent like earlier than he probably should have was because back in Naruto Part 1 and then Shippuden, every single time like one of the Kages, either it be like Sarutobi or Hiruzen Sarutobi, excuse me, or like Tsunade or something, would say like, no, Naruto, you can't go on this mission, even though he really wants to go on the mission either because it's a high ranked mission and he wants to do something a more challenging than what he's been given, or because he has a personal connection to it. Like originally, they obviously wouldn't have in Shippuden. In the beginning of Shippuden, they didn't really want Naruto to go and help out with Gaara being captured, the Kazekage retrieval arc. They didn't really want to do that, but because Naruto had a personal connection towards Gaara and because they're Jinchuriki, it made sense. And that's why I feel like it's really stupid and why Naruto kind of seemed like a hypocrite for a good few episodes was because Naruto went on missions all the time because he had a personal connection towards someone. Konohamaru is having the same instance where he wants to go to the Stone Village in order to get back his team for reasons that we'll get into a little bit, or just later on in in another episode or so. But he wants to go because he has a personal connection. It's his team, and he wants to do this. He needs to do this, and he just didn't go for the longest time, and now he's finally going. So whatever. The episode continues. I was on that for a while. I'm sorry. The episode continues. Konohamaru leaves. We go back to Boruto and the others, and they sneak into the Stone Village. They get in. They disguise themselves, and the episode decides to have a little quick moment with Inojin and the Akuta, and they're in a cave. The Akuta goes inside of the cave, and they actually give him a name. It's like Akun. It's like Akkun, so Akun. That's how they pronounce it in the episode. That's what I'm gonna fucking call it. Fuck you. So, excuse me. So, Akun, the Akuta, finds something dead. It's a dead animal, and Inojin says like you can't play with it. So they bury it, and they give it respect, and they allow it to rest in peace. And I really like this part of the episode because it goes off more and more to the Akuta aren't really the enemies. They're kind of made into what they are, because remember, the Akuta were created artificially, kind of like how Mitsuki was, but Mitsuki is like a perfect artificially created human being. The Akuta aren't perfect creations, but they are still creations. They have feelings, but they don't really know how they have feelings. They don't know how they should feel. So the Akuta that we're seeing fight against Boruto and the others are evil because of the scenario that they're at. It's product of the environment. So now that this Akuta, this like little baby one, Akun, now that he's in an environment where he's being taught that life is precious, and whenever someone does die, you need to give them respect and allow them to rest in peace instead of a grave. You know, you should do that, and that's how normal people in society do things. And if you don't do that, then you're a really bad person. And I just really like that part of the episode, and I like the scenes in the episodes where it does feature the Akuta, because not only is it just freaking cute and all, but it does give off a lot of messages that the productive environment does mean a lot to other people. It's a lot of people, because you can be in a really bad situation where you turn out to be a bad person, or you can come out as a good person and learn from that. It all just determines where you come from. And I don't know. I think it's just really good, story writing, and I just really appreciate it. So the episode continues. Obviously, Boruto and the others are trying to infiltrate. They're trying to get information on where the hell Onoki is. Excuse me. Trying to catch my breath. Chocho, they decided to use the whole plot point where whenever a character gets hungry, they fucking figure out really important plot points. So Chocho gets hungry, and they decide to have this whole slapstick humor, even though it's not really slapstick, but Chocho's hungry and her stomach is growling, and it's really loud, and it sounds like a fucking fart, which pissed me off. But I think the end of the episode and what else happens in the episode kind of, completely glosses over this whole scene. But it sounded like a fucking fart, and I was like, really? They're doing like a somewhat wet fart joke in this fucking episode. So I was a little pissed off, but I gotta admit it was still kind of funny, because if you've ever been in a situation where you're really, really hungry and you haven't eaten anything in a few hours, or in this case for Boruto and the others, a few fucking days, your stomach is gonna be fucking growling, and sometimes it's really goddamn loud. So they get embarrassed, they run off, they go over and they find this diner area, and the guy there is really suspicious, but ultimately the whole point of it was, I explained earlier, the whole getting hungry explains plot points. So what happens is that they order food, they eat food, and then somehow the guy knows the general location of where Onoki is. Because remember, the whole point of the episode for Boruto and the others is for them to be able to find Onoki and ask him for help. So they find a location. Akatsuchi, which is Kurosuchi's friend kind of guy. He was in Shippuden. If you missed him, it kind of makes sense. I don't blame you for kind of forgetting about him. To be honest, I kind of forgot about him too. Or rather, I didn't forget about him. I just didn't remember his goddamn name. But Akatsuchi, or however you pronounce his stupid name, he immediately already knew Boruto was this was Boruto. No one else in the village knew that this was Boruto, the son of the Hokage from a different fucking village. But of course, this guy knew that he was the son of the Hokage, and they were from the Leaf Village. And it was actually better that this worked out in the end, because Akatsuchi was able to figure out more information, and they also learned more information about what happened to Kurosuchi. And we're going to get back into Kurosuchi, because I remember in one of my previous episodes I was explaining Kurosuchi's fodder. And there is a reason, and I want to talk about it, because it makes sense for why it happened, and I kind of want to give a better explanation as to why she was fodder in the episode. So Akatsuchi, they take Boruto, Sawada, and the others to Onoki. Onoki, they're asking for help. He says no, he can't do it. Take him back to the Leaf Village. The Akutas, the bad guy ones, they attack them. Turns out Lord Ku is also there. And then it's revealed that Lord Ku is the son of the second Tsuchikage, Onoki. And I'm going to go ahead and say this. If you were surprised by this, you should have been able to figure that by a mile away. It was so blatantly obvious by the episode where Kurosuchi gets attacked by Lord Ku and gets taken away. And here's why. And this goes back to the whole thing about Kurosuchi being fodder as well, that I mentioned I wanted to make clear on. So the reason why Kurosuchi got fucking captured by this fucking stupid ass Lord Ku guy, it was because she was surprised by the true identity of Lord Ku. So she let her guard down, and she didn't want to hurt the son of her grandfather. She didn't want to do that. So, because of that, she dropped her guard, she got attacked, and now she's in a fucking sealed ass cage where she can't get the fuck out. So, it really that's basically the explanation for it. It explains like why you should have been able to figure this out, that Lord Ku is, Onoki's son, but it also explains why Kurosuchi was beaten so easily, even though she's a fucking Kage. She's a Kage. She shouldn't have been able to lose so easily, but yet she did. But there's an explanation, and I still kind of find it stupid anyways, because as a Kage, no matter towards the connection that you have someone, you should never drop your fucking guard, and it's so stupid. For Naruto, it makes sense because that guy's an idiot, but I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it like that, but still, it explains it all, and you should have been able to, expect this from a mile away. But this is the plot twist at the end of the episode that I almost dropped my fucking, I almost pushed my mouse off of my table. I'm so sorry. But oh, I'm laughing too much. I got the giggles now. So, anyways, Onoki is actually in cahoots. Nobody uses that word anymore. In cahoots with Lord Ku. And I'm gonna go ahead and just fucking say it. The reason why he's in cahoots with Lord Ku is because he met Mitsuki, and he knows Mitsuki is related to Orochimaru in some way. He managed to figure out that Orochimaru created an artificial perfect human being, and now Onogi wants to be able to use whatever research that or whatever Orochimaru used with Mitsuki in order to create him, so that way Onoki can basically revive or recreate his dead grandson. That's the whole point of this. They set this up from the beginning, but we just didn't fucking expect it. And the reason why I set this up in the beginning was because a few weeks back, I think like a month ago at this point, Onoki, it was the Five Kage Summit. Onoki went over to the Leaf Village because all the other previous Kage had to go there too. So he went there, and he mentions his grandson. I forgot his grandson's name. I know he says it in the episode. I forgot, and even then I probably wouldn't be able to fucking pronounce it properly anyway, so who cares? But they also make it like a point that Onoki also was mistaken Boruto for his grandson. So there's a personal connection as to why he's doing this. It's a plot twist that Inoki is actually kind of like the mastermind behind all this, and he's the reason why Mitsuki was taken to the Stone Village, etc. And honestly, the main thing I'm really fucking curious about is just how bad. What is Naruto's reaction going to be? Because we already know Naruto's going to be beyond bewilderedly surprised that Onoki would betray the peace that was between all the Leaf Villages. Not the Leaf Villages, I'm sorry. All the villages, all the great nations. The peace behind it. The fact that he betrayed the peace behind all the great nations. The fact that he betrayed it, he would want to know why. So I'm really curious as to why or how Naruto would react to this. I'm really curious. I hope it's kind of how I'm expecting it's going to be. Maybe it's going to be done a lot differently than what I'm hoping it is going to be, but whatever. It's going to happen like the way it's going to happen, and I can't really do anything about it because they're already making the goddamn episode, so whatever. Anyways, that's the end of the episode, which means that's the end of the video. Overall, I really liked this episode. This was a really much better episode than what we got last week. And I'm gonna apologize for this video coming out a little bit late because I fucked up my sleep schedule, and yesterday I had a fucking friend over and we were up all night. I fell asleep a couple times even then as well, and that's what fucked up my sleep schedule. So I apologize for this video coming on or coming on the channel a little bit late. It's gonna be going up on Tuesday, somewhere early in the morning of Tuesday, which is basically the same day that I'm recording this because it's almost 3:30 in the morning. So. Anyways, I'm going to see you guys in the next video. I'm also going to be streaming on Twitch. Go check out my Twitch channel. That link will be down in the description, or at least it should be down in the description. If it's not, I have to fix the fucking description to have my link to the Twitch channel. But I'm going to be streaming the new DLC for Spider-Man PS4. Be sure to go check it out. I'm going to be streaming the whole story mode for the DLC. Come to my Twitch. It's twitch.tv/gamer6739. Just go check the link down in the description. Anyways. Overall, the episode was really good. The animation was really good. I liked the music choices that they had. overall just storyboard for the episode as well and what happened. I think it was really good. The only part of the episode I kind of just hated was like the whole fart joke bullshit thing that happened. Kind of pissed me off a little bit, but it's whatever. The episode was really good. Go check it out if you haven't already. I'll see you guys next one. Leave a like if you enjoy. Subscribe if you're new. I'm out. Peace.